So this is a story about gifts of Christmases past. Every year my family asks me, what do you want for Christmas? And every year I tell them the same thing. Don't want nothing, don't need nothing. But yet every year they buy me stuff. And I don't want to sound ungrateful or unappreciative because I am really grateful and really appreciative that my family loves me enough and that they think about me enough to buy me stuff. But the money that they use to buy those gifts with doesn't come easily. So my daughter and her new husband bought me these for Christmas one year. The thing is, I don't need these and I'm never going to use these, but I can't bring myself to get rid of them. They bought me these with money that they probably didn't even have to spend to begin with. I can remember what it was like to be a newlywed, moving into your first house together, going grocery shopping for the first time. You needed everything. You bought the spices and the condiments. Your grocery bill was huge. And then you would get your first prorated utility bill, and you're thinking, well, that's not so bad, because it wasn't for an entire month. It was the second bill that came in, and it was for a full month. And then it was like shock. Like, I don't have enough money to pay for this. How am I going to pay this bill? And I can remember having to borrow money from my parents and my husband's parents until we learned how to budget our money and manage it. So it can be really tough when you're first starting out. And so my daughter and her new husband, they're just now starting out. And so I really wish that they would just keep their money and use it on themselves and for the things that they need. And I know they had to work hard to buy me these. The money we spend on stuff is hard earned. I've worked in manufacturing jobs for most of my adult life, and doing that type of work really takes a toll on your body. Just the natural wear and tear from physical labor, the natural wear and tear from getting older. I've got back problems now and neck problems now. I go to bed at night, I toss and turn, my back will lock up, and the pain will wake me up at night. But even if you don't have a job that's very physical, there's other stresses at work. There's mental stress and there's emotional stress. Maybe you have some coworkers that you don't get along with very well. Maybe you have a boss that nitpicks everything that you do. We go through a lot at work, and we put ourselves through a lot in order to earn money to buy stuff. When I was young, I didn't really think about all of that. I was healthy, so I just bought whatever I wanted. But if I knew now what I knew then, I would have saved my money every dime I could instead of buying stuff. Maybe I could have retired early. And I tell my kids all the time to save every dime they can, put everything they can into a 401k, because you never know what life's going to bring. Once I got older, I started looking at stuff differently. Now when I go shopping, if I see something I want, I'll think, how many hours do I have to work in order to pay for that? I'll give you an example. Say there's a picture I want for $100, and I make $10 an hour. That means I would have to work 10 hours to pay for that picture. So then I have to decide, is that picture worth 10 hours of my time at work? Is it worth the stress that I have to put up with at work? Is it worth the added wear and tear that I have to put on my body to get it? The answer is almost always no. Buying something now isn't just about the cost of the item for me. It's about what I had to go through in order to get the money to buy it. And it's about the time I had to spend in order to get the money to buy it. but there's always an exception to the rule. I won't go and buy myself stuff, but if my kids want something, I'll buy it easily. That's because as a mom, my kids mean everything to me, and they're worth it. They're worth the stress I put up with at work. They're worth the time I spend at work. They're worth the wear and tear my body goes through at work. They're worth everything to me. My family asked me again this Christmas, what do you want for Christmas? And once again, I told them, don't want nothing, don't need nothing. And I hope that this year they listen, because I would really like for them just to save their money and use it on things that they need. Somehow I know they won't listen. Somehow I know I'll wind up with more stuff for Christmas. Some of it I'll use, and some of it will sit on the shelf for years. I guess I just look at stuff differently now that I'm older. When I look around my house and I look at all the stuff, most of the time what I see is a burden. It's something else for me to take care of. It's something else to take up my time, something else to spend my energy on. And I see a lot of wasted money. I don't want more stuff. Truth is, I have a roof over my head. I've got food in my belly. I've got clothes on my back. I've got my pets and my family. I have everything that I need. And as for what I want, money just can't buy it, because what I really want is just more time with the people that I love. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.